All right, welcome back. So we're doing another master skills video here today, and today we're talking about the integrated task 3. This is the problem and solution task. And now, just as with the last integrated task, this one, as far as the master skills, is very simple, and it's all about how you take the notes. So to master this particular task type, it's really important that you follow this structure. Now, it's not necessary for you to follow this structure to get a good score, but by doing so, you're almost guaranteed that you will. So if you have a better way, use it. But I'm telling you that this works really, really well. So there's no point in doing anything else. Basically, you just follow the same format. Put either man or woman or person 1, person 2 at the top, split the page right down the middle, put a little P for problem, S1 for solution 1, another space for the response or the excuse or something like that, S2 for solution 2, and another space for response. You don't have to put these labels here, but it certainly helps. And then, as far as giving your answer, all you have to do is follow this structure. So, as I've stated here, follow the strategy for taking notes. When you give your response, first state what the problem is and why it's a problem. That's right here. She sprained her wrist, and that's a problem because she has a concert to play with the string quartet. Second, state what the first solution is and why the person doesn't like it. All right, well, she said that she could try to play, but her wrist might not be healed by then, and she said that she didn't like that idea because she'd be out of practice and doesn't want to sound bad, and also if she's not able to do this, she would definitely let her friends down. Okay, that's why she doesn't like that one. Third, state what the second solution is and why the person doesn't like it. You follow the same routine for this one. And then the other person suggested that she get somebody else to play. She did say that there was someone named Jim that could play, and he's not that bad, but she also mentioned that he's unreliable and he's always showing up late. And for this situation, he would definitely have to show up on time for the rehearsals. Finally, you have to state which option you would choose and why. And as I noted here, if the person who suggested the option said something good about it, you can use the same reasons that that person gave in giving your response. Now, that doesn't happen very often. Usually they just offer some suggestion, but they don't really say why it's good. So you probably have to come up with at least one good thing about whichever option that you choose. But if they do say something good about it, you can use the same reasons that they said. However, they probably won't say something good about it. So all you have to do is think of one good thing about the option that you choose. So, like I said in the summary or in the strategy video, that this is a good option because she's being responsible by finding somebody else because she doesn't know if she is not able to play, she's definitely going to let them down. She's not sure if Jim is going to be a good source, but at least she's doing the responsible thing. And then if he shows up late and he's a terrible performer, they're going to be mad at Jim, not at her. And they'll understand that the reason is because she sprained her wrist. So the good thing that you could think of here is that she's being responsible, and if something does go wrong, it's going to be Jim that they're going to be upset with and not her. So that's a good thing. So the other person mentioned that maybe she could get somebody else to play, and she said that she had someone named Jim that could play, and he's not that bad. She did say that he's unreliable and always showing up late, but I would still choose this option because she's doing the responsible thing, and even if he shows up late and he's not a good performer, at least then it's his responsibility and not hers, and that's why I would choose this option. Okay, so basically you're just using all of the information that you've written down to formulate your answer. You don't have to use your memory to try to remember anything that was stated as long as you fill in the spaces just like it's shown here. And on your paper you have a line down here. You might want to put lines this way, but you don't need to. Just put the little headings here, problem, solution 1, response, solution 2, response, and just use that. Now, as I stated, they probably won't say anything good about the solution, but the other person will definitely say something bad about it. So you'll notice that I used the phrase where I said, even though he might show up late, so you use phrases like that. So even though he might show up late, I still think this is a good idea because, and then you state the reason that you think it's good. So another thing that I entered here is a bonus practice skill. This is the first time I've used one of these in the lessons. And this is something that you can do to help prepare yourself by practicing how to use this format to formulate a perfect answer. So that way you don't necessarily have to find more examples. Of course, practice with the 3 examples that we have here, but you can practice this same format by simply putting in any sort of random problem and any sort of solution in response. So that you don't even need to have an audio file. Let's say the problem was the person's car broke down and because of that they can't get to school. Well, then the person might have suggested that they walk to school. And that person didn't like that idea because that person's legs are broken. And so then the person says, well, they can take the bus. And then the person says, well, they didn't like that idea because the bus schedule is not very full and they would have to come early to school and they don't want to sit there for 2 hours. Okay, so there you have some random things that have nothing to do with any sort of audio file. And then you just use that information. Okay, so the man's having the problem because he said that his car is broken down and now he doesn't have a way to get to school. The woman suggested that he just walk to school, but he didn't really like that idea because he said his legs are broken and it's going to be very difficult for him to walk to school with broken legs. But then she said that maybe he should just take a bus. The guy didn't like that idea either because he said that apparently the bus schedule is not very full, and so if he did take the bus, he would have to show up to school really, really early, and then he would sit there and it'd be really bored. However, I would definitely choose that option because then at least he's still getting to school. He's not hurting himself with his broken legs, and he's doing the responsible thing by actually coming to school. So if he has to sit there for an hour or two, maybe he can do some studying, and that's why I would choose the second option. So you see, I didn't have an audio file to go from. I just filled in random information into this same structure, and I'm able to formulate a response, and I completely just made that up off the top of my head. So using that same method that I just demonstrated, you can practice this task type in a way that you can't do with a lot of the other ones because you'd have to make up the whole story. Here, you just have to have problem, solution, excuse, solution, excuse, and then use that. And then you will definitely completely master this task type. So there is the master skills for the speaking task 3 campus situation, problem and solution. Thank you for stopping by, and we will see you in the next lesson, which is the last of the speaking skill tasks. All right, we'll see you there. Have an excellent day.